Hey, it's Pete from Abstract Ocean. So today we're installing a PPF based screen protector for your Cybertruck. In the kit you'll get a soap solution. We've already added water, but otherwise just add water. It'll come with a drop of soap already in there, just needs to be hydrated. A couple of alcohol wipes, and then the PPF screen protector. We're using an Expel Stealth PPF, so it gives you a satin kind of finish on the screen. We'll also offer it in clear as well. Clear is literally clear, so once it's applied you won't really notice it. The satin one gives you a nice kind of glare resistance, and I have a light here so you'll kind of see there's obviously quite a lot of glare at the moment, and we'll see how that looks once the screen protector is installed. Now I should say that long term we're going to be offering glass screen protectors. They are the best screen protectors in the world. We make them for 3Y and X already. We've had this screen on order from Tesla since December 13th. Right now I'm recording this on March 23rd of 2024. So we don't have it yet, and I'm too selfish to give up my Cybertruck for a month while we take this off, template it, because it's not just a screen, it's we've got to do the frame, the installation frame that goes around it. So if you purchase one of these, we'll also include a coupon inside the box, which will discount the new glass screen protector, more or less making this free, give or take $5, right? So you can either use this as your permanent solution. You might love it. I've been pleasantly surprised. But if you don't, if you want the glass version, which has, you know, the oleophobic coating, the silver ion coating to kind of destroy germs on contact, and it is the hardest screen protector in the world. It's based on the same aluminosilicate glass that the likes of Corning use for the Gorilla Glass. So if you want that, absolutely fine. We're probably 2 or 3 months out at this rate. We're sort of trying to, you know, apply whatever pressure we have to have Tesla send us one of these. We already have the rear one set up. So with all that said, let's get going. First thing I'm going to do is put it into, go to your settings, display, and screen clean mode. And then I'm going to use the alcohol wipes, or at least one of them, to give it a clean. So I'm parked outside at the moment. The air is off in the front, at least. It's running in the rear for some reason. So usual rules, right, when you're applying screen protector, you want to minimize air movement. We want to make sure there's no dust on the screen, no matter what. Now with PPF, it's arguably a little less of a problem than glass, because if you're using glass, then even the smallest speck of dust will cause it to lift in that area. PPF is a little more forgiving in that regard. Okay, so with that done, we're going to spray the screen. I have a towel here. I'm just going to lay this down underneath here. We're not going to have that much that drips out until we start squeegeeing it. It's actually nowhere near as messy as you maybe think it would be. So I'm going to apply a nice even coat to the screen. The screen is actually quite warm. It's been on for quite a while, so that's going to evaporate off a little bit, but here's what it is. And I'm going to peel this off from the backing. I've washed my hands, be sure to do the same. And then as I peel it, I'm going to give it a spray. Go a bit further. As you're peeling it, try not, or be careful not to stretch it. So just sort of peel it in a nice even way. You can hear my dogs in the background, sorry. I have no respect for when I'm recording. Okay. Gonna do the screen one more time. Okay. There we go. I'm just gonna put it on. So at this point you should be able to slide it around fairly freely. If you cannot, then you need to just kind of lift an edge, spray some more soap solution underneath there, or slip solution. So get it lined up, and then I'm going to grab my squeegee, and it's still going to slip around, so as we start to squeegee it off, it'll start to take hold. So I'm just going to kind of go down the middle first. Still moving, so let me make some corrections. Let's just get some of this out so we can make a start on finalising the position. It's actually quite easy. I would argue that this is easier than at least the traditional screen protectors that don't have any kind of installation frame or anything. And these are obviously good value, but again, we're using really good PPF. You can't beat the Expel Stealth PPF for this kind of look. You can see we've got that side done now. Over here, the same thing. And there you go. We're going to grab a towel, or microfiber cloth in this case. Give it a wipe over. We're not done yet. So once I've done that, I can see there's a little bit over there I need to work out. I'm going to grab that same light. You can use a a flashlight, torch, whatever, and just kind of take another look, because there's going to be some little bubbles that you just can't see no matter how bright the area you've parked in. I don't know if you can see this on camera, but some down here, so I'm just going to work those out to the edge and just kind of work all the way around, really double checking that you've got all of the soap and especially air released from behind the film. That to me looks pretty good, and hopefully you can see, even though we're just showing the screen cleaning mode, you still see a reflection, of course, that's unavoidable, but the specular glare is kind of really spread out with this film, and with our screen protector, when we get it, it'll be even better. Okay, just working out the last two. Even if it looks like it's done, just keep going with this. The more you get out now, just the better the overall installation will be. And even though I can't see the bubbles, as I drag the squeegee over it, they are still coming out. As you can see, look at that. It's quite satisfying, really. Excellent. Obviously no impact on the responsiveness of the screen, so we'll hold to exit. Exit in 3, 2, 1. So no impact at all on the responsiveness of the screen. I will say, we've had the doors open for a long time on this, doing some different videos. If the screen doesn't want to exit the screen clean mode, just go ahead and reboot the truck. So press and hold the buttons on the steering wheel while pressing the brake pedal, and that will clear up any issues. But once you've done that, absolutely no issues with anything that's going on here. All right, with that said, thanks for watching. We're going to go ahead and do the rear screen now. All right, onto the rear screen in the Cybertruck. So first thing we're going to do is turn the air off. Second thing we're going to do is hit the settings and the screen cleaning mode. I'm going to clean the screen with an alcohol wipe. Again, doing this outside. The sun's moved, so, and for the sake of the video, it helps not to have it on the screen, but if you can, do it in sun, because it really shows up the dust. Then, now I've done that, first thing I'm going to do is put a nice even coat of the slip solution on there. Stops the dust from getting on for a start, because it kills any static. And I'm going to peel off the protector. So for the rear, we're going to do the clear, just so you can kind of see the difference. And the application is just a little bit different as well for the clear versus the satin or matte. I'm going to peel that off. Again, make sure your hands are clean before we start. Looks good. There is a top and a bottom. The bottom corners are cut off, so there is an orientation you need to pay attention to, but it's pretty obvious. Okay, we're going to apply that on there. So what you're looking for again is for it to slip around, ideally not slip off. If so, then you've got maybe a bit too much soap or slip solution on there, but let it find its position. And then I'm going to just grab a light just to make sure we're in the right spot. There is a little bit of stretch and flex to to the PPF anyway, so there's some flexibility there. Okay, that is good. Now for the clear, we want to use the fuzzy side of the squeegee, only because plastic will, or little scratches will show up a lot easier on the clear. Of course it's self-healing, so you can just get a hairdryer or a heat gun on a low setting and get rid of any scratches, but this just helps avoid that in the first place because we're looking for easy and as little work as possible. And the other thing, which I forgot to mention, you can tuck a towel just sort of in and under. Once you've got the protector on, don't get it anywhere near until you've done that because you'll get fluff everywhere. But that way you can just kind of work out the liquid and it'll just go straight into the towel. Okay, things are moving around a little bit, so I'm going to just do a bit more and then check the position before we finalise. Come down a bit. That's good. Okay, so now I'm just going to kind of hold it in place there. If you're feeling too much resistance on the surface, again, because this is the gloss, just give it a little mist. That'll make it a lot easier just to work with. You'll see, obviously, professional installers do that when they're applying it to a car. Let's work out the last of it. With both front and back, there will still be some moisture sort of retained behind the screen protector, so once you've applied it, just give it a day or two to properly dry off. If you see any little bubbles in there in the meantime, try and work them out, but don't force it because they'll probably just evaporate. But the rear is the same as the front, that you need to make sure you work out as much as you can as you're doing the application. And there you go. Hold to exit. Looking good. I'm just going to give that another quick wipe over just to clean it up. In terms of you choosing between the satin or matte finish or this, the clear, put it back in clean for a second. It's a very personal choice. The easiest way to summarize it is if you have a laptop screen with a glossy, or your phone of course, but you know, any screen that's glossy and you love it, then you'll probably prefer the gloss or the HD clear. If you prefer the look and the texture of like an ebook, like a Kindle or something like that, or your laptop has a matte sort of screen, anti-reflective screen, then you'll probably prefer the matte or the satin. In terms of sales, 60% matte, 40% clear. Especially if you're kind of my age, which for showbiz purposes we'll say over 40, your eyes probably aren't perfect anymore. I much prefer the satin finish. I think it looks fantastic, it resists and hides fingerprints great and stops any direct glare. You'll probably see a lot of glare on this at the moment, whereas the front screen it looks beautiful. But again, if you like that sort of pin sharp, glossy, high contrast look, then choose the gloss. And there you have it. Thank you for watching.